friends. Time for questions, thoughts, comments. And I've already received one question. So till the time others want to type a question on the chat box, we will address this question. So this question is about material enjoyment versus spiritual perfection. So what is it that we mean by material enjoyment, and should we have any material enjoyment at all or not, is the question. So material enjoyment is, of course, the pleasure that we gain in this material world when the senses come in contact with the sense objects, and that data, as it goes into the mind, calculated by the intellect, creates certain effects in the chitta. A vibration is set up in the chitta, and a certain emotion is felt along with it of pleasure versus pain. So whatever pleasures we feel through the senses in this world are called sense pleasures or material pleasures. Now, our scriptures have divided these pleasures into three types depending on the gunas. So these pleasures may be tamasic pleasures, and tamasic pleasures will be the pleasure of intoxication, the pleasure of addiction, the pleasure of laziness, the pleasure of violence, the pleasure of all base activities. So that is tamasic, and they keep the person body bound, they keep the person bound to the world, and the karma, of course, that is created again has to be worked out over a period of many lifetimes. The second type of material enjoyment is the rajasic enjoyment. What is rajasic enjoyment? Is the passionate interaction with this world. So you're not lazy or you're not intoxicated, but you have these too many worldly desires and too many worldly ambitions, and you want to interact with the world, you want to be entertained, you want to watch TV, you want to watch cricket or exciting news all the time. And why this is a problem? This is a problem because as long as you are engaged with all of these activities, you are not even bothering to remember that you are the soul. You are not in tune with the truth. You are not in tune with wisdom. So basically, you are just keeping your body, mind, and personality busy into this dream drama, and you're trying to get pleasure out of that. And there is, of course, some satisfaction and pleasure that is attained through these activities. But what is the problem with this kind of pleasure? It is temporary, it is not lasting, and eventually all worldly pleasure is going to convert into pain. All excitement is reversed by depression. Why? Because we are living in a world of duality. Therefore, all pleasure has to be balanced by pain. So that is the problem with rajasic pleasure. Then the third type of material enjoyment is a sattvic type of enjoyment. So enjoying the beauty of nature, enjoying, when you have good food, sattvic food, you enjoy that how your body is integrating energy out of it, and then listening to spiritual music, listening to spiritual chants or Vedic literature or things like the Gita. All of this, these are sattvic activities, and you derive sattvic satisfaction out of this. Now, why this is better than the others? Because from sattvic satisfaction, it is easier to go towards the wisdom, bliss of the soul. And therefore, ideally, in a sense world, we should convert our tamasic actions into rajasic, rajasic into sattvic. All our activities should eventually become sattvic so that we can also rise beyond sattva after that. It is easier to rise beyond sattva, but it is not easier to rise into truth from tamas. So therefore, as long as we are here, we are enjoying certain pleasures. Now, always remember that these are only transitory. These are not real experiences. The truth is that bliss is of your own soul. Your own soul is of the feature of bliss or the quality of bliss. It is the bliss that you are experiencing, the pleasure that you are experiencing in this world is not a property of the objects of the circumstances. It is the awakening of your own bliss. And the highest bliss is in the soul. And therefore, bring yourself to sattva and then go beyond sattva. And this is then comes what is spiritual perfection. So spiritual perfection is attaining that infinite bliss of your own soul. So if you talk about Hinduism, spiritual perfection would be moksha, and moksha would be achieved by following the various paths of yoga like karma, bhakti, jnana, or Patanjali's Ashtanga yoga. And if you think of Buddhism, what is spiritual perfection? It is nirvana. Nirvana is attained by the eightfold path that the Buddha has given, the right effort, the right understanding, and all of that. Then if you understand from the Bhakta point of view, from the Christianity point of view, what is spiritual perfection is attuning yourself with the will of Christ or becoming Christ-like. So becoming one with your Ishta or with your deity or with the Christ as in Christianity, that is also spiritual perfection. So eventually transcending the I, little I of the ego, and going into the larger self. That is spiritual perfection, and that is named differently in different religions, but the method is more or less the same. First, you have to make your life neat and clean by practicing the commandments, or the yama and niyama, or the Buddhist pathway. And once you have done that, then you go into higher wisdom. You perform the right action, you become prayerful and devotional, and you contemplate upon wisdom, and you go then merge into that one spirit. So that is spiritual perfection. And that is why when we were talking about the Uddhav Gita, where the Krishna says that you must rise beyond material enjoyment and go towards spiritual perfection. Okay, so I think that's about this question. Is there any other question, Captain Joy?
Om Guru to all. First of all, thanks so much, Dr. Radhika ji, for sharing with us today's satsang. And the question here we have is, why doesn't God tell us about our last lives where we may have performed some bad activities? That way, we can use this life to rectify those specific actions and make peace with those people we have hurt.
Okay, so you're wanting to know about your past lives, but will you be able to handle the data of 1,000,000 lifetimes? It is so difficult to manage one lifetime. How would you manage the tragedies, the difficulties, the heartaches of millions of lifetimes? It is not possible. You cannot burden yourself with so much. And that is why, if you were God, if you were that Ishvara who was creating, and would you allow your children to be burdened by so much? And let me ask you this, if I ask you directly, do you want to know about all your thousands and millions of life? And imagine, in all those lives, we have died with either some trauma, or maybe some physical disease, or some other problems. Do you want to remember all that pain? Why would you want to remember all that pain? Is that serving you in any way? The point is to rise beyond all causes of pain. If right now, and Master was always against hypnotic past regression. He said that you should never subjugate your will to anybody else. So it is best that all that negative data is hidden from us. The point is right now very, very simple. You are saying that, I want to neutralize whatever difficult relationships I had, whatever difficulties I had with others. So it can be done without knowing what happened in the past. How? By giving unconditional love to all. Whoever there may be in your life around you, however difficult they may be. And then if you start truly being a friend to them right now, if you start truly giving your unconditional love to them right now, you are already transcending whatever bad interaction you had in your past. You do not need the details. Of course, you feel bad sometimes. It is not easy to love unconditionally, is also not easy at all. It becomes only easy when we first love God. So once we are able to love God, give our life to God, and to feel His presence in our life, and only then can we feel that if God is present within me, then God is present around me in all these people also. It's only then, once you recognize God's presence in yourself and them, that you're able to give them unconditional love. So therefore, start meditating, start attuning with the Guru, start attuning with God. And then with that power, give unconditional love to others. That will solve all the problems of the past without actually accessing each little detail. It is unnecessary. What you are doing now is important, and that can be easily changed. Easy as compared to the weight of the karma that we have in the past. Giving unconditional love to people is not difficult, especially if you know that if you just love them and be patient with them, then when this life passes on, then all the karma is getting resolved. So just try this. And our Guru has told us not to go into hypnosis or hypnotherapy. So let's keep it. Of course, we know that in certain rare conditions, hypnotherapy may help to people to remember their past and remember the cause of certain things. But since our Guru has told us to not go in that direction, there is no need, because there is no need. So let us remember that my actions right now are important. If right now my actions are in tune with the highest, then automatically not only will I overcome the bad effects of past bad karma, but also the karma that I am doing right now, I am surrendering simultaneously to God. And therefore, I will not create any good karma. There is no need to remember any past life. And I am very pleased that I don't remember the details of past lives, though although when you are a meditator, so sometimes one can get glimpses of past lives. One in dreams also you may get glimpses of past lives. But are they really necessary? No, not really necessary. But if you are having such experiences, just acknowledge them as a phenomenon. It is a past that cannot be changed. But what you can change is your future by working on the now. So the only important moment in all eternal time is this moment. What is your action in this moment? What is your attitude in this moment? What is your behavior in this moment? What is your speech in this moment? What is your bhav in this moment? What is your relationship with God in this moment? Only this moment counts. Forget the rest. Everything else will work out. I hope that helps. Any other question?
Next question is, if God is the ultimate doer, then what do we do with our free will?
Okay, interesting. So, as has been mentioned in the last shloka that we studied previously, is that such a person does not go by his past habit patterns, but is guided intuitionally as to what to do. So, once you are setting yourself free and understanding that God is the doer, don't worry, God will not waste your life. If you are in tune with God's will, then He will tell you what to do, and He will tell you lots of what to do. Not little this much, Lord, little that much. You will not have to worry about, oh, I have to eat this, I have to put this dress on, I have to go there, I have to meet these people, these ambitions I have to fulfill. No, God will tell you what to do. You will know, and you will be so busy, you will not have time to think. But the good thing is that you will know that it is God who is guiding you to do those actions. It is God's energy that is being used. It is God's power that is being used, and you are not accruing any karmic effect. So you will know in your heart the will. You already have a body, you have a willing instrument, you have the power of your heart's feelings, you have the power of the intellectual mind. God will use you to do good into this world. Allow Him to use you as a channel. You will be super busy, don't worry, but you will not have any karmic effect of it. So even in the midst of intense activity, as the great sages are, as Master was, in the midst of intense activity, in your heart, you will always know that you are free and that God is the doer. So don't feel confused. Once you know it in your heart, you just know it. And then God will, if you keep yourself attuned, then God will guide you. And interestingly, there is a saying in Buddhism that even after you attain enlightenment, then also, uh, even though you do not need regular prayer, but still pray. Even though you may not need regular meditation, still meditate. Even though you needn't really interact with others, but still interact with love. So even though you do come to a point where you understand that you are not the doer, but since your body, mind, heart still exists, you use it to the best of your capability to do all your spiritual activities and whatever activities God guides you to do personally, or at a smaller scale or at a bigger scale of the masses as the gurus work in this world. So that's it. Any other question?
Next question is, what is the difference between real and astral world? Can we go to astral world at our will?
Okay, so you are saying that this world that we are living in, this physical reality, you are calling this the real world, and you are calling the astral world as the unreal world, as the dream world. Now the scriptures will tell you completely differently. So at one level, they will say that the astral world is more real, this physical world is less real than the astral world. In another scriptures like the Mandukya Upanishad, the Upanishads will tell you both are dreams. The astral world is a dream, the physical world is a dream. Now we have to understand that it is because of the presence of the astral world that the physical world manifests. If we go into the theory of creation, as has been told by Master, is that the absolute stillness vibrates into thought, which is the causal world. The thought then vibrates grosser into the astral world or energy, and it is the further vibration of this astral energy into grosser vibrations, and matter exists. So astral world is the blueprint of your physical world. So don't think it will come some other day. Right now, because your body exists and you are breathing and there is a mind, means automatically there is a parallel astral world, which is actually running your physical body. It's just that you are not aware of it. The fact that the breathing, we know that the physical inhalation and exhalation are possible only because in the astral spine, prana is rising and falling. All yogis know this. This is no new surprising, act. So if you go even a little, if you go into pranayam, little hatha yoga, little yoga practice, you will know that it is the astral universe which is running the physical universe. And by meditation, you can go to astral universes, but again, do you want to get stuck in phenomena is the question. There are people who will say that I travel astrally, I go here and there. How it is difficult to believe them. And we know that even Master questioned such a person, or such a person came to Master and he said, I travel astrally and I can go on the top of Taj Mahal. And he claimed to do so. And Master knew that he was lying. And then he put him to the test and he said, okay, both of us are sitting here. Let us visualize what is happening in the room below the floor. And both of them gave a picture. And of course, when they went down, the Master's visualization was clearer. So people may claim that they are doing astral travel, and I'm not saying it is not possible for astral travel, but do we really need astral travel is the question. We need moksha. And there is karma in the astral world. Even the astral deities, all the gods and goddesses also have this problem. The problem of jealousy is still there. All the wars that wage in the astral world. It's because the ego is not being transcended. Our aim is to transcend the ego. If you go to a better, more beautiful place, let's say a temporary heaven, and even there people are fighting over position, power, and jealousy, then you have not transcended the ego, you have not transcended suffering, you have not transcended karma. So therefore, yes, these things appear to be fancy. One wants to enjoy these things, but these are actually, they will obliterate or they will become obstacles to your path of self-realization, of transcending the I and going into soul consciousness. Our aim as yogis, as devotees, as disciples of a great master is to transcend all phenomenal creation, that is even matter as well as astral, even causal. And of course, the autobiography, Sri Yukteswarji has given the description of Hiranya Loka. So yes, all those things exist. But our Guru will take us where we need to go. When we leave these bodies, then the Guru will guide us to the next destination, whether it is complete moksha or whether it is to another astral or causal plane where we need to work out for complete liberation. Trust that your Guru will take you where you need to be. And it is the promise, Paramahansa Yogananda ji said that if you are a sincere follower till the end, one of the Gurus will come to receive you when the body drops dead and you have to go on forward. Because we are all immortal children of divine bliss. None of us is ever going to die, only these bodies are going to be dropped off. So trust the Guru, follow the Guru, he will take you to the next level of evolution. And there is no need to yearn for astral experiences because we need to transcend all temporary experience and go into the ultimate lasting experience of our own soul, of Brahman, of truth itself. That is the only lasting truth and bliss that you will want to have and will have. And that's it for this question.
Yeah. That's all for today, Dr. Radhika ji. And thank you so much for lovely explanations. Thank you so much. Om Guru.
Thank you, dear ones. Thank you. God bless us all. God be with us all. And we shall meet next Thursday and continue our journey of the Bhagavad Gita. Jai Guru. Om.